first man to ever climb the Matterhorn was, so he went up with like he's like 2 kids, I think, and a friend of his, and I think that 3 of them died. It was really sad, and I think he made it. It was just really wacky. That film, the guy made a painting about it. It was really scary. It was wild.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It's true. Anyway, interesting fact of the day. Cold brew coffee actually it does not have to be brewed cold.
What?
That just means that it was served cold. Interesting, you know, I always thought that for it to be cold brew, it would have had to have been
You didn't
brewed.
think you had no thoughts
I
before.
thought it would have had to
No,
have been...
you had no thoughts before.
Right, but I thought it had to have been brewed cold. And then the temperature of when it was served would be irrelevant. It was just like cold brew because it was brewed cold. Apparently the cold modifier only counts after it's been served, right? So it's just about how it was served, not about the actual status of the brew.
Do you taste the Javiva concentrate within it? No?
I taste
Javiva concentrate is less diluted cold brew. They're 2 different things.
This is a coffee.
No, that's a frappe.
I thought.
How's look at me?
Exactly like it.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, here. I'll pretend like I'm like a vlogger, and that you're like the person I'm filming.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, right, subprime loan, subprime mortgage, just any mortgage given to like somebody who's like obviously like, so, like if you're like smoking crack, and then like somebody gives you a mortgage, like you're obviously not gonna pay it back, right? Because like one moment you're gonna have a pile of money, and the next moment you're gonna have a pile of crack, right? So probably not a good idea. So what basically happened was mortgages were becoming such a great like commodity to have that they would just start giving mortgages to anyone because the amount of money they would make was always so good. Because if you didn't pay it back, they would take the house, and if you didn't pay it back, you know, there's crazy return on it. And so lots of super subprime mortgages to super sketchy people start coming in. Okay, so basically, when you have a mortgage, so basically like companies would have so many mortgages that they would make this thing called a mortgage-backed security. And a security is basically just like a thing. It's like an asset. I don't know why it's called a security. They just call it a security, right? It's not like any more secure than anything else. It's just security.
Normal security?
Right. So they would basically take like 10 mortgages and then they would basically kind of group them up. And it's like I don't know how to. Yeah. So they would group it up and they would call it like its own like thing. It has basically a label now, and so then all of like the profits, you could basically like you could just say like, oh, you can buy 10% of this mortgage-backed security, and then 10% of the profit will go to you, right? And then that way, the owner of the company, there's like less risk for the owner, because if the thing fails, like it's not really on them anymore. Okay, and so there were a lot of these mortgage-backed securities. Everybody was saying like, wow, look at how great of a deal they are. It's like super low risk. It's amazing. And then like insurance companies will come around and they'd be like, okay, look, we'll sell you an insurance plan on your mortgage, back security. If it fails, we'll basically like pay you back like half, right? So they would start selling out these insurance plans, right? But then they would start selling like multiple on each thing. So like it was super risky if it went bad for them basically. And so as long as something went bad, there would be no problem, right? But then this one guy was like,
Okay, let's cross the street. Look both ways. Being a good Samaritan. And forward march.
And so, yeah, really, if nothing goes wrong, like, we'll all be alright. So, nothing has to go wrong. And then, this guy came around and he was like, I kind of see, like, what's happening here. This is going to be a huge problem. And he, like, liquidates everything, he sells all of his stuff, and he gets out with his cash and he runs. People were like, oh my god, this might become an issue. Lots of houses are being sold. They're like, the value of the housing market is just wildly plummeting. There's this big company called Bear Stearns.
Oh wait, no, what year is this?
So 2008. It was like late 2007, early 2008. So Bear Stearns is a super rich company, right? Very valuable, a lot of money. They go bankrupt. Everybody
Dramatic zoom in.
Dude, everybody loses their shit because they're like, oh my god, Bear Stearns like went broke. Like, how did this happen? And the guy's just like, I don't know. Like, it's just like we just have no money. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. And then every like huge businesses start like going broke. The government cannot pay out like its emergency relief fund was just like too small because nobody like thought this could happen. It's like the whole housing economy collapsed. Yeah, I mean, pretty bad.
So where were you?
I was not alive.
You
I
were
was alive. I was alive.
You weren't alive in 2000.
I was alive.
So where were you?
I was like probably in New York, just vibing.
just about, how old were you?
Like 2.
Do you remember the exact moment when you were told that company went bankrupt?
Yes, I do. It was a very big day.
Do you remember seeing the tower? I mean,
No, that was not a lie.
Any other comments?
It was George Bush's fault. There was thermite found in the explosion.
This will be so good for footage when I like frame you for murder. Hey, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Ask for tits.
Mortgages. So